You?
Down there.
Oh,
He's putting you back on
Righty.
there.
I'm always on there.
This time after the executive session, the board has directed the city administrator on what to do on our actions that we're going to be taking at this time. So he will deal with that in a timely manner on the personnel issues.
And report to us back next meeting.
Yeah. All righty. And I do want to apologize to everybody about the technical difficulties on the audio. So let's go to our city administrator report at this time.
Since y'all have approved the purchase, I will get a hold of Union Pacific tomorrow and get the process started. I will tell you that there are 11 streets that Matt and I had worked on, and they're done, and they will be for the proposal of the 2025, 2026 overlay. And one of them is gonna be that one by the railroad, the tank trap over there. Okay, the next thing is, this afternoon, Greg and I had visitors here from Congressman Womack's office and from Senator Cotton's office. And they came and we went over several things that are current, and they asked us about our needs. And we told them that among the things that we need at the top of the list is we need aid to get a fire station built, to get it of sufficient size so that when we go up in size, and it's coming, we'll have the funds, and we're gonna, that's one of the big things for this year is the design. The next problem is, like every design, you have to build it, and that's always not a free ride. That takes some money. The second thing we talked about with them was the water tower issue about building the second water tower. For you all that don't know, our run has been, we got 500,000 gallons storage. We've got probably 90,000 somewhere near in the pipelines. And we've been running about 587,000 gallons a day. It runs more in the summer, it runs less in the winter, but that's the way it is. The other thing is, Bill asked a question about the cost of Fort Smith delivering the water. It's $4.16 per CCF, that's the cost, okay? Now, what you don't know is that they sent us, and Fort Smith sent out, and we've got it on the internet, and it's about out of their 392 pages of their study session tonight, there's about 20 pages of water statements from surrounding towns that use Fort Smith for water or have alternate sources, and it is their pricing. And so we've looked at that, and we are where we need to be to cover, and what Megan has shown in the budget, we've known to cover our prices and what's there. The reason that we have a different schedule than the north of the river is because of pipelining and the work that has to go to maintain the lines to get it over here. It's real simple, you know, distance costs. So this is the second thing that is really there. You need to know about it. They're having a session downtown tonight, and they've got 4 tiers of water plus an irrigation tier. And we have our own thoughts, and we'll let them decide what they're gonna do, because, you know, I actually live there, so I have to pay the bill that everybody listening to Fort Smith does, and it's not a free lunch. There's no free lunch, period. And that goes with it. The next thing is, if you have not been down Chad Colley, for those of you that are not terrorized by all the cones and everything, they're getting ready to get that up. The traffic signal is up, and it's presumably it'll be in a few months. It'll be 4-way stops for a while, but when they get it up, there'll be some changes, and so everybody will have to remember, don't go blazing through there as you're headed to town. I will tell you that if you've not seen what's going on out on the streets, the street guys have started in tree trimming, trying to get ready for the overhangs of winter so we don't have ice and limbs laying on the ground. Some other folks around here have adopted the same plan. We'll let the asphalt absorb the sunlight and melt ice and snow when it gets here. And hopefully we won't have any limbs laying across the road cutting off power or anything else. And last but not least is coming into fire season. And I don't own any fire equipment sales or anything like that, but I have to worry with it just like Tommy does. And I had it in my previous lifetime, but we've had 2 house fires here within just rock throwing distance. And I would encourage everybody that if they don't have a smoke detector, to get one and get it, battery it up, and make sure that it works. Because if you don't, there's going to be somebody, there'll be a loss of life, not to mention the loss of property. Lives are not going to be available, but property can be replaced. I will tell you one other thing. Brian and I talked today. You all asked a question about vehicles. We have one vehicle that's probably going to catapult out into non-existence. And what we're looking at is the possibility of buying a used vehicle with reasonable mileage. There's a way that you can do it through the state system. I'd like to find one that is near the same equivalent in years as the Durangos we got. And it's also for commonality of parts and commonality of maintenance experience. And so we're going to be looking for it. Doesn't mean we're going to rush out the door and buy it, but you got to look at one that's been actually through the system. Right now, for those of you that are in the auto business, there's been so many recalls and so many bugaboos that we found out that you almost get gun shy even looking at buying a vehicle. And the cost of the new vehicles is somewhere this side of Mars in terms of your budget. I will tell you this, and you need to know if you haven't heard it, when you buy a police vehicle or a specialty vehicle, the cage and the equipment inside from one year model doesn't necessarily fit the next model. So that's always a cost. And the question was asked about police and fire and costs because of the equipment that goes with the police department, that goes with the vehicle. That price is figured in, and that's one of the costs that makes the price at $80,000 to $90,000. Fire equipment, that equipment that's on that fire truck is a piece of equipment that's standardized and it's fitted to your mission in your town and what you have in your most probable cause. So when you think about this for your budget and you're meditating on it, that's exactly where it's at. Yes, sir.
All righty. All right, do we have any announcements? We still have accepting registrations for the Christmas parade on December 14th. That ends on November 30th. Is that right, Megan? The Christmas parade? Yeah, so if you'd like a float, make sure you go to the Facebook page or call up here to City Hall.
No,
And-
we do realize that this is the same day that Fort Smith has their
Yes,
parade.
yes, and Van Buren. So this is a one-time thing. This is our first year. Next year, we're going to move it to a different date and hopefully have a lot bigger one next year. That's our biggest plan, is to have a great big huge one next year.
Fort Smith's is during the day, though.
Yeah, Fort Smith's during the day, and then Van Buren, I think theirs is in the evening, but they have
Ours
a
is at
shorter,
night.
they have a
Ours is at
shorter
night.
time frame, so. But, yeah, so 6 p.m. on December 14th. Since we had some audio trouble at the beginning of the meeting, we had a consideration of purchase of Union Pacific Railroad property. That passed. And then we discussed the director meeting dates for December. We have decided that the 2 meetings will be December 10th and December 17th. And then we discussed the 2025 operational budget, and that's something for our board members to take home and study, and we'll discuss it even more at our next meeting. So, also, I want to thank all the citizens of Barling who voted for the 1 cent sales tax for the roads and the fire. Thank you so much for doing that. That's going to help us extremely in the future. So, does anybody else have any other announcements? Anybody from the public
Mayor?
like to come up?
I'd like to make a motion.
Yes.
I make a motion for our 3-day annual bonus for the employees that we do every year.
Motion for the 3-day annual bonus for the employees.
The Christmas bonus.
Christmas bonus, okay.
Yeah, so you get it earlier because she's going to have to make out checks and she's
Okay.
pretty tied up. It's going to take time.
All right, we got a motion. Do we have any discussion? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Got a second by Pancho. Roll call vote.
Aaron Rowe.
Yes.
John Manus.
Yes.
James Davis.
Yes.
Ken Coley.
Yes.
Bill Young.
Yes.
Ron Sharon.
Yes.
Thank you for reminding us, Ron. We almost
We can
forgot
assume
about
the
that.
part-timers are part of this too, because we kind of integrated them in it last year. We want to mirror what we did last year.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Yeah, we,
absolutely. Good. So, early Merry Christmas to all the city employees. Thank you so very much for all the service you do for us and the citizens. Anybody from the public like to speak? No? Mr. Ron, would you like to do the honors, sir?
Make a second motion to adjourn.
Got a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Folks, we are adjourned. Have a great, great day. Texas.